So now we can observe while we are going to modify any specific file. So for that purpose, we must need some text editors like Edit Plus, either any Word files. For that purpose, either MS Word, either Excel files. For that purpose, MS Excel. So in this way, so we need some text editors. So these editors is also can be called as some system programs. So why? Because with the help of these editors we can modify the files. So already previous slide we was observe file manipulation or file system implementation. We can able to create, delete, modify, copy, rename. So these all things can be easily performed by these editors. So that's why we can simply say that these text editors is some system programs. And here, in case we are using some command line interface, at that situation, to search any specific text, to search any specific file or any specific text among that particular file, that means some pattern from the some file. So for that purpose we are using this some commands like copycon, either grep command. So the such things. So those commands was also implemented with the system programs. So next, coming to the programming language supports. So to providing the programming language support to our device, for that purpose simply we are using the some compilers. So like TC compiler, Java compiler, either Python. So such type of either compilers or assemblers or debuggers and interpreters was used to providing the programming language support to the our devices. So in case we are not using these compilers, obviously our device doesn't support any programming language. So for that purpose we can add this compiler, any one of these, either compiler or assembler or debugger or interpreter or some other things. And whenever we are going to loading any program and performing the execution, so that is absolutely can handled by the such compilers or assemblers. So for that purpose we are using some loaders, or relocatable loaders, or linkage editors, or overlay loaders, or debugging systems. So these all things can be used to providing the facility of program loading and execution, to load any program and perform the execution of that particular program. And coming to the communications, so especially whenever we want to communicate with another user, either another user within that particular server. So actually server or shared memory devices was accessed by some number of users. At that situation, if you want to require some specific file or some specific information, so for that purpose we can communicate with who was providing that particular information or who was having that particular information. So we can communicate with that particular person. So for that purpose here these system programs can help to communicate with the other user, or whenever we want to send some text or some message to the another user, for that purpose also, like emails. So in this way, so we are using the several things for performing the communications. డోర్ క్లోజ్ చేయవా యోక్షి డోర్ క్లోజ్ చేయి బయట వేసేసుకో. Next, so whenever we are going to implement some background services, already in either 3 or 4 classes back we was discussed. Okay, now also we will check. So whenever so at currently I was running only 4 or 5 applications only. But now check totally how many number of applications are currently runs in my device. So for that, yeah, processes. So here approximately total count వస్తుంది. Where is it ఇక్కడ కౌంట్ రావాలి ఎన్ని ప్రాసెస్ రన్ అవుతున్నాయి. Okay, anyhow, so here approximately more than 100 processes was running in backgroundly. So actually I was opened only either one file explorer, either two Google Chromes, one WhatsApp, one PPT, and OBS Studio. So that is only these are the. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 applications only. But here you can check how many number of processes was running. Some hundreds of processes was running. So only these 7 processes was opened by me. So remaining all are to supporting or to run or to use these 7 processes without any lags. So for that purpose here operating system was runs some number of background applications. So these all are such background applications. So that is nothing but some background services. So either this particular background service can be start at the time of booting, so to load the system files from one memory location to the another memory location. So for that purpose we need some startup files and some termination files. Whenever we are going to shutdowning that particular process, that particular device, for that purpose also we are using this some system program. And these background services can provide some additional features like disk checking, process scheduling, error logging and printing. So such these features is also performed by these background services. That means backgroundly it was running the some application. Whenever just we are simply click print either control p, immediately that particular background service can be react and try to print that particular document. So in this way. And these background services can run in user mode at the same way in kernel mode. In both modes these background programs can be run. So those background programs or those background services can be called as either services or subsystems or daemons. Those are the details about the background services. And coming to the some application programs. So already we well known about application programs like MS Office, the text editor, sorry, Edit Plus, either any APIs. These all are belongs under application programs. So that means such application programs doesn't belongs to only specific system. So that particular application program can be used in any system in same platform, like all Windows 7 operating systems, all Windows 10 operating systems. So we can use that particular. For example, we are using either MS Office 2007. So we can use only within our device. So we can use the particular application software in any program or any platform. That's it. And next, so operating system design and implementation. So now we are so till now we was discussed what are the system programs. So now we can discuss about how we are going to implementing the operating system and how to design that particular operating system. So here actually to design or to implement any operating system is not a simple task, is not a solvable task. So that means actually it was very difficult task. But with the help of some approaches, we can easily implement or we can easily design such operating system. So those are some internal structure. So we know whenever we know the what is the exact internal structure of that particular operating system, then we can easily develop that particular operating system. At the same way, while we are going to designing the operating system at that situation, we must have some goals and some specifications. Then only we can implement properly. Then only we can properly implement that particular operating system. And next, whenever we are whenever we are trying to implement or designing the operating system, so that designing or implementation of operating system is not only uh, belongs to the any specific hardware or any specific system. So actually such operating system can support different types of hardware configurations and different types of systems. For example, we are developing either Windows 7 or Windows 10. It can support only for a core Intel i3 process or Intel i5 process? No, it can support all processes and all variants of RAMs like 4 GB, 8 GB, 16 GB. So in this process, we must have some goals and some goals. So these goals are basically two types. One is the system goal and another one is the user goal. So here, what is meant by user goal and what is meant by system goal? So here, actually, user goal is to conveniently or easily using the that particular operating system. So for that purpose, it can provide easy to learn and reliable and safe and fastest operating system. So that is the user requirement or user goal. So generally user goal is to use that particular operating system for which purpose? Conveniently using the operating system for solving their problems or for using their applications, and easy to learn. So we can easily identify or we can easily know how to run some new programs or how to install any other applications, these all things. And that particular operating system must be reliable and safe and fast. So these are the user goals. Now coming to the system goal. So as a system, whatever the goals or whatever the responsibilities of the system. So here, as a system, so it can easily implement the operating system, so to easily design such operating system and to easily maintain their operating system. At the same way, it can be easily flexible, well flexible, reliable, error free and efficient. So here already we know, easy to design means we can easily we will try to easily designing that particular operating system. Implementation and maintenance means to maintain, is there any error was occur, how to rectify such errors. For that purpose we can maintain some documentation. And it was flexible means in case currently we are using some version of operating system, if you want to add some additional features and modify their version like windows 7 2019 either 2020, so in this manner. So for that purpose it can easily allow such modifications. That is nothing but flexible, reliable and error free and efficient. So such operating system must be reliable, error free and an efficient. So those are the system goals. So in this process, while we are going to implementing the operating system easily, at that situation we can able to differentiate what is the policy and what is the mechanism. What is the policy of that particular operating system and what is the mechanism for that particular operating system. So here policy means nothing but what will be done. So that means we are going to perform which thing, and mechanism means how to perform that particular one. So that is very simple thing. Aim cheyali, ela cheyali, that's it. So what will we do, that is nothing but policy. How will we do, how to do it, that is nothing but mechanism. So here this mechanism can determine something, and policies can decide what will be done. So here actually, so who will perform the key role in this operating system implementation means policy can perform the key role. So it was decide what we will go to perform with that particular operating system. But here mechanism is simply how to perform or how to implement that particular one only. So that's why here the separation of policy and mechanism is very important in operating system design. Why? Because what we will implement, what we will whatever the services can be provided with that particular operating system, and how to perform around how to implement such things with the operating system. So such kind of differentiation is very important to implement the any operating system. So here these specifications and designing of an OS is highly creative task. So that means either normal users cannot able to design or cannot able to implement the operating system. So that means by simply to create to designing the operating system or to implementing the operating system, that is some creative work. So that is some engineers work or software engineers work. So normal people cannot able to implement these implement or designing these operating systems. So now we observe, whenever we are going to implementing the operating system, what are the several complexities. So here first one is the variations. So actually at the beginning of the operating system, so that means beginning of the operating system means initially, So like Windows 98 at that time. So to implement operating system at initially, we are using the some assembly programming languages like ALP, uh, some embedded languages. So those are used at initial stages of operating systems. After that, we are using some system programming languages like Algol, Pascal. So such type of system programming languages was used to implementing the operating system. So nowadays we are using the high level programming languages. So by simply at beginning of the operating systems, we are using the some assembly level programming languages. At a middle level, we are using the some middle level programming languages. At currently, we are using the some high level languages. So these are the several variations. So that means, so that is depending upon the size of the operating system. So that particular operating system can functioning how many applications or how many process. Based on that, we can choose which language is better for which variant is better for implementing the that particular operating system. And actually, while we are going to implementing the operating system, so actually we are using several languages to developing the that particular operating system. So that is nothing but a mix of the languages. So that is whenever we are going to work with the lowest level, for that purpose we are using the assembly language. Whenever we are going to implement the main body of that particular operating system, for that purpose we are using the C language. In case we are going to implement the any system programs, for that purpose either C, CPP, Perl, Python, shell scripts, these all can be used. And whenever we are going to implementing the networking like some ports, so for that purpose we are using the some high level languages. And emulation can also allow some operating systems to run the non-native hardware also. So these are the several things can be considered while we are going to implementing the operating systems. So these are the details about um, how to implement the operating system. And then system programs. So these are the details about system programs and operating system implementation.